Hello Taurus, welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. Thank you so much for letting me read for you. If Taurus is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your tarot card reading. Remember to hit the like button, leave a comment, consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. If there is anything you would like me to pray over or meditate upon or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is going to be a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I might provide. And remember, Taurus, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. Four of Wands. I feel like we had the Four of Wands for you very recently, didn't we? Maybe it was a different sign, but I feel like you are coming to the end of a very important cycle in your life. I feel like this is a karmic cycle. I feel that this is, maybe it's been a creative process for you. Maybe it's been something more emotional, I guess, more cathartic, because I do feel that there's been a release of something, maybe literally, maybe you released an album, maybe you finally finished your music and it's published now, or your book or whatever. But I feel like there's a cycle completing, and I feel that there is a very practical side to things, but then there's also this very spiritual side. The Four of Wands is an impermanent state. It's a four. It's an even number. It's a structure. It's an impermanent structure. This is kind of like a campfire. We think of the creative fire, right? And we put it into something. We put our stones around in a circle. We get our wood, our sticks, and our little kindling, whatever stuff, little leaves and thing. And then we light the fire, and the fire's going real good, and then over time it's going to die down. We could keep feeding it, yeah, but at some point it's got to die down. And it's going to smolder, and then we have to just put dirt on it, put water on it, put all the stones back where we found them, sweep away the dust so we're not leaving a trace, To me, the Four of Wands is always a lesson in impermanence. So this accomplishment, this creation, this completion, this release of something that you've had, I think the release is really a very interesting word, right? Because I feel it as if I've completed my book, now I'm going to release it to the publisher, right? But I feel like this is also you releasing the fire. It's kind of like we built the campfire and it was raging and it was good. We cooked our food, we sang some songs, we got warm, we dried our socks. Now it's time to let the fire go. We release the fire. Where does it go? I don't know. Where does the creative fire go when we're done with our project, when we're done with whatever structure we've put it into? Yeah. So I think that this is you sort of finishing one thing, and now we're on to what is the next thing. And maybe this is something so simple as in you got your chores, you got your list of chores, and it's like, well, I'm done with that one chore. Now I've got to get the fire back now to accomplish the next chore, or, whatever it is. Maybe we're cleaning house, maybe we're cleaning our heart, maybe this is a karmic thing. We're going to put this card into some context to see what is going on with this energy and where it's taking you and what is being released. Well, there's the artist. That is the Prince of Cups and the Prince of Pentacles. Interesting. And the Ace of Wands, there's the fire. That's where it went. The Three. See, I love that. This is so cool. This is so cool. Obviously, 1 plus 3 is the 4. And taking that creative fire, giving it an earthly structure, the 3, right, is going to give us the campfire. This is the fire itself, and this is the stones and the wood. And they even say when you pile up wood, you kind of want to do it in like a triangular kind of shape or whatever, so it burns the right way. That's what the Three of Pentacles is here for you. This is how you stack up the wood so that your fire can burn and burn and burn, and not sort of go out, unexpectedly. We've got to get it, I used to have trouble like, doing a charcoal barbecue. Ask my wife. There was this one time Excuse me. There's one time I was trying to light a charcoal barbecue, and it was a very windy day. In my defense, very windy day. And I piled up the coals. I put the lighter fluid stuff on there, and I kept lighting it up, and it would flame and flame and flame. And I said, I've done it. And then it would just go out. The coals just wouldn't light. And it was partly the wind. It was partly how I structured the coals, you know. So this is you being very careful about how you structure the coals, because you do not want this creative fire to go out, right? This is also the card of impermanence. So we know that eventually this one has to come to a completion, and then we're on to the next one, okay? And then the fire goes wherever fire goes. Fire's not gone, right? We can summon it back. I got a lighter here. I summon the fire all day with my candles. I summon the fire, right? And that's why I have candles lit, because to me it's a symbol. It's me. I summon the fire for the physical candles. I summon the fire in myself for the spiritual, energy to come through, and for these readings to be possible, right? So in the same way, this is your creative cycle. And look at that. Look what it's leading to for you. 9 of Pentacles. I'm so happy. Here we have a really intense fire card with the Eon card. This is the doorway of fire. This is all the fire. This is kind of like, we ask, where does fire go when the impermanence of the campsite, you know, where does the fire go? This is where the fire goes. And now this is where you're going. So it's like you're accessing this part of spirit where you can tap into the fire anytime. You're sort of becoming the fire. Okay? And so this is really doing something tremendous for your creative will. Now, maybe you're not an artist. There's the Hermit. There's more fire. And indeed more earth. Oh my God, I'm seriously going to cry for this reading. It's so much fire and earth. And it's such a all of these, this, aside from this, and I want to point out that this is your superpower card. I'm going to ring the bell for you. This is the Prince of Pentacles. This is the Taurus superpower card. It's the fixed earth energy, right? So what do we have here? Fire, earth, fire, earth, fire, earth, fire, earth, earth, and water, right? And we always need a little bit of water. You can't have all fire and earth. You got to have the heart, you know, as the conduit, as the conductor of that electricity, right? You got to have a little bit of the water too. When you extinguish the fire, you put the campfire out, you can't just throw dirt on it. You got to put the water on it to really make sure it's out. And to me, the appearance of the water energy right here is you really enjoying. This is you really like taking the win, right? Really feeling it, allowing yourself to be in the experience. This is amazing. Let's select the mystery card, bonus card. Confirmation card. This is a random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. This is the factor infinite and unknown. It's going to go right here with our tiny horse, Mr. Ed, right there on top. Now, we're not going to look at that card till the very end. Hopefully my voice doesn't go out. If you have a prediction for that card, put it down in the comments. All right, let's do it together. Let's make it a group exercise. Yeah. Okay. The 2 major arcana energies we have, the Eon and the Hermit. Going through this fiery doorway is in some ways going to take you, it's a journey inside of yourself to find the source of the light, to find the source of fire, to find the source of creativity, to figure out, where does fire go when you put it out? Where does the creative energy go when you complete a project or whatever this is? Now, I don't know if you're an artist, maybe not. I feel like there is something creative and artistic about you, whether you know it or not, especially when we talk about the Prince of Cups, right? But I feel like going through this doorway is going to bring you inside of yourself a little bit, okay? Because you're finding the source of fire. And it may even be a little bit of a lonely road for you. Honestly, you know, it's a hermit after all. But I think that with the appearance of the 6 of Wands coming right after the Hermit, I think we we're going to deal with that anyway. But this is a life-changing realization. This is a spiritual awakening. It's you tapping into that fire. It's you traveling to wherever it goes. And then maybe even so you can bring it back at will, anytime you want, you know. This is the doorway to your future. And your future is going to be one where I think everything that you put your mind or your will or your heart into is going to manifest. And I mean, we start an ace way over here and an ace way over here. The beginning and the end is an ace, fire to earth. This oh my gosh, this is perfect. This is absolutely perfect. And we have your power card. And we have your power card. So there's really a suggestion here that you're tapping into this way of, you're tapping into your will, okay? And you realize that everything that you will, now you got to be careful what you wish for, what you will for, right? Everything that you will is going to come about. It's sort of the Midas touch here, right? We got to be careful with it. Because all we see here is a lot of fire and earth, and of course the water, which is your imagination. This is your inner artist. These are the images inside of you that really need to be manifested, right? And so you have to know what it is that you want in life, because you have this ability to will something, to focus on something and manifest it. It's magic, right? You got to know what you want. You know, you got to know what you want to use this power for. You've tapped into this wonderful, like this looks like a circuit board of creation here. But without any air or water, it's not really doing anything, right? No one has flipped the switch, right? There's nothing is conducting all the electricity to all these circuits. You know, it's kind of like a motherboard without any, I don't know what they use, gold or silver or whatever to connect everything together, but that's what this is. This is actually a little bit of air. This is air and water, the prince, right? It's always the air energy in the suit that it's in. This is a little bit of air in this water. And this is the perfect conductor of the electricity. So this is what is putting all these pieces together and really activating this creative energy for you, this spiritual creative energy. And this is not saying that you're an artist. This isn't saying, well, you're a painter or a writer. Maybe you are, yeah. Maybe that's what the Four of Wands is. You're completing these projects, and you're sort of, you're going to be activating, summoning the fire back to start the next novel or whatever you're doing, the next painting, the next music album, right? Whatever it is that you do, if you want to leave your website or your YouTube channel or whatever in the comments, please do. I'm all about promoting all of you, and if you have any kind of business or any kind of art that you do, please, I would love to see it and share it, and it's wonderful, right? But this doesn't necessarily have to do with anything artistic. Creativity is different than being artistic, right? I don't know which one really I'm kind of thinking of, but they're sort of interchangeable, but they're also different. So this is your ability to create. In other words, it is your ability to manifest. This is the secret. This is the secret of manifestation here. Okay? And I think you've discovered that secret. And you're able to summon the fire now. And we realize, of course, that it is all impermanent, that everything that we manifest is sort of like a wheel that keeps turning. It's a cycle that continues to go. We're just going around and around and around. It's a spiral, not exactly a circle track. This is really, really good. The Prince of Cups, like I said, it is your imagination. It is all these images that are in you. It's all these things that you could put your energy into. All these things that you could be manifesting. It's you figuring out which one you want to go after. What is your next project? What is your next, the next cycle for you? Okay? So I do feel that there is, with this Four of Wands, this idea of release. Okay? So I think that we're sort of, whatever the last thing was, we've got to be able to let it go and move on now to the next one. It's kind of like we've already vacuumed the house. It's done. I don't need to concern myself with the vacuum or the carpet. Why am I still fixated on that. Because see, these two are very fixed energies. Fixed water, fixed earth. And they're very good energies. We need to be fixed, as in we need to be able to concentrate on something and continue working on it until it's done. But once it's done, you're not going to keep hammering a nail into a board. The nail's already in there. It's already flush. Don't keep hammering it. What are you doing? Right? You're going to weaken it. You're going to ruin it. We're going to compromise. Either the head of the nail is going to break off, or we're going to dent the wood too much, and it's going to be why? Waste of energy, right? We got to put the fire back and let the thing be what it is, and then start the cycle again. But this energy gets very fixed, and so this could be we're fixed in a feeling, we're fixed in a building of something. And so this might be something that we have to release. And maybe this is the fire back here that Spirit is saying, yeah, this is already completed. This is already done. We can release this cycle of effort, right? And maybe this is a career cycle. Maybe it's a relationship thing. Maybe it is artistic, creative, mental, emotional. It could be anything and everything. It could be a spiritual path, could be a karmic cycle that you're on. Okay. But I feel that this is creation, right? And this is you understanding how that process works. In whatever realm we're talking about. Could be physical, financial, mental, emotional, spiritual, creative. Could be relationships. It could be just literally the chores on your list, right? It's how we get stuff done. It's how we manifest. So we're letting go of this previous Ace of Wands. But it's not gone. It's not, where does the fire go when we release it? What we're doing now is we're getting the structure ready for the next effort. This is you putting your canvas on your easel and getting your paints ready, getting your paints mixed. You've already washed the brushes, and this is getting everything set up. This is me stacking the charcoal in the barbecue, right? And then we're going to summon the fire again. And then we're going to have another campfire, and we're going to get to roast our marshmallows and dry our socks and warm our cold bones, you know. We're going to be able to have a good time. Maybe you do some sort of metal work. Maybe you do glass blowing or something. Maybe you do something with fire even, you know. I don't know. I don't know what you do, but I feel more than likely you're an artist of some kind. Yeah. And so an artist tapping into the energy of creation, well, it's a very powerful combination. And I think that you realizing all the components, this is you knowing, again, you understand the process of creation on the physical plane. In other words, you know that you have to have your materials in a certain way. Like you have to have the charcoal stacked a certain way. You have to have the logs leaning up against each other in a sort of triangle form. You know how to structure something to make it the work the best that it can. You're unleashing the power of the pyramid, right? Office reference. You know how things need to be ordered, structured, and arranged in your world, in the physical world, to almost guarantee success. It's kind of like this is the ritual that you do to summon the spiritual energy. And this could even be your preparation, that when you're about to create, it's like, okay, you take a ritual bath perhaps, maybe you drink some water, a certain kind of tea, there's incense or some kind of music or something, like you get in the mood. You know, you got to set the stage in a way with this card. And setting the stage then allows you to do whatever it is that you do to summon this fire back and get the next raging campfire built, right? And what we see in the future, 9 of Pentacles, this is something that is happening again and again for you. You've tapped into this cycle that is leading to nothing but progress and gain for you. Every time you do it, it's like we've just leveled up a little bit more. We're getting closer and closer to like getting all the chores done, you know? And this is intense, and it might not even be anything that you think about, because your superpower action card, right? This is your superhero card. This is underneath the surface. This is what you do, but maybe you don't even know how you do it. It's just you're like, yeah, this is how I operate. And yeah, it's leading to a lot of success, a lot of gain. I think physically, financially, there's a lot coming in. I feel like there's a huge financial component to all this. Okay, there's a huge physical component to all this. This could be something regarding health or exercise. Maybe this is you at the gym, The Nine of Pentacles, though, is the visible signs of progress, that what you are doing is making a difference. And what you are doing, even though the individual units are impermanent, right? It's building something up. It's an energy that keeps accumulating. It's a process of life. See, this is all about the process. And all of these cards, really, if you think about it, are about the process. This is the temporary structure where all the processes come together. An ace, a 3, a 9. We even have a 6. 3, 6, 9 plus the aces. Absolutely beautiful. I'm seriously going to cry. This is the structure. This is the impermanent temporary structure of all of these forces: the creative force, the force of I don't know if we want to call this preparation, of actually doing the work, the physical work, and then of course the momentum, right? This is the way of life. The Nine of Pentacles. See, it's a 9. It's an odd number. Odd numbers. Odd numbers are the functions. It's the process. This is you living this sort of life of progress. This is always a forward movement. Yeah. Let's talk about the path of the serpent. As we do this, I would like to ask for your subscription. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It's totally free and it supports the channel, and I appreciate that. I really do. I like the Eon card as your general energy, because this is like you're transcending. You're going through this fiery doorway, never to return to the way things were. You found the method. You found the system that works for you. And once you're tapped in, once you're locked in, it's like, don't tinker with this. This is changing your future, changing your reality. Okay? This is a door, and you have to choose. Go through this doorway. You realize you're being taught this power of manifestation, and you choose to use it and make it your own, and there's no going back to doing it the way you did before. Okay? Maybe this is just, you're in this creative zone, this flow, and it's working. It's like a well-oiled machine. It's just like the perfect motherboard. All the circuits are working. Everything is just, don't mess with it, But this is really an awakening. It's a future that's not going to be like anything that you've seen before. Okay, and it is going to involve, I think, a period of hermit energy, because this is you sort of going within yourself. Maybe this is indicating that there's a very intense period of creative work, and maybe when you enter into a new cycle, you really do immerse yourself in your work. That you sort of retire to your laboratory or your studio within yourself to do this work. And we might be heading into a season of sequestering ourselves. I don't like to say isolating, but sequestering ourselves. I'm sort of keeping the interactions with the social stuff to a minimum here. That most of your attention is focused inward to do this creative work. However, the Six of Wands here is showing that the work that you do is not just for your own benefit. This is the card of victory. And I feel like you're somebody who, when you achieve things, when you accomplish things, create things, and you get these, completed cycles, it's not just for you. That you're somebody that feels like, when I win, I want everybody to win. That it's not really a win unless everybody, every member of the team also wins. You're the type of person that, like, if you got some sort of praise or accolades at work, like, you would say, no, it wasn't me, it was the team. This is kind of the obstacle right now. Okay, because the work that you do, I think, it takes you very far away from other people, but at the same time, it's being done for the benefit of other people. You know, maybe the people close to you or whatever, or maybe the world at large, right? But this is the card of the teamwork. This is the card of the team. And maybe we're talking team as in your, you know, your spirit team, you know, your spirit squad. But I feel that this is for the rest of us too. Okay. I also feel there's someone in your life with a Y initial. I don't know what name starts with the letter Y, or if it's the name of a business or a project or something. Something starts with the letter Y. But the 6, you know, it's a Jupiter in Leo energy. So there is the idea here of expansion. And it's kind of, in a way, we got to be careful of this too, because sometimes this card can lead to us feeling invincible, right? Sometimes this could lead to the hubris of Midas, you know, whereas as everything I touch turns to gold. What could possibly go wrong, right? So we have to be careful of this ego, which we're all sort of prone to. So let's stay humble, you know. Let's make sure that we take our wins, that we enjoy our wins, but we make sure that we keep pushing forward and make sure that we don't get so stuck in the feeling of victory that we sort of stop moving forward. And that's what the Ace of Pentacles is for at the very end. This is showing that you're still moving forward, that it all comes down to beginning another thing, doing another one, right? Whatever this was that you've completed and that you've released, Spirit's saying, start the next one. Don't leave too much time in between. As soon as you send the manuscript off to the publisher, you're already putting a new sheet of paper in the typewriter. You know, already preparing for the next thing, and then we're getting ready to summon the fire again. And again, I don't know if you're actually an artist or a creative person in that way. I think you are very creative in ways that maybe you never really thought of it that way, you know. That's very good, very, very good. Let's look at the mystery card. Let's see if this... I always feel like we need a little bit of air, like maybe it's just the idea now of sort of deciding what the next one is. Deciding where to go from here. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and say air energy. If you have a prediction, though, go ahead and put it in the comments. It doesn't have to be the same as mine. Say whatever you want, okay? Yeah, 7 of Swords, so give myself a little bell. 7 of Swords is we've gathered our tools and we're walking to the other side of the house, and we say, oh, wait, maybe, no. Maybe I want to do that. You know, it's like we got all our paintbrushes, but then we're walking through the house and we see all of our stationery and our pens and paper and stuff. We say, oh no, maybe I want to write or draw. Maybe I don't want to paint. And so we throw all our paint supplies down and we say, yeah, I'm going to draw now or write a letter or a book. It's sort of the indecision. It's sort of like we think we're committed to one thing, then we get sort of distracted by the other thing. And that is a impedance to this electrical circuit of creation. So we have to pick the next project and we have to be all in. We have to be fully on board. That's how we summon the fire. The fire won't be summoned if you're trying to do your magical ritual, but your mind is thinking of, you know, what are the cats doing in the other room, or what do I need to get at the grocery store? You have to be fully present, fully immersed in the ritual in order to summon that fire. Your invocations won't work. You know, you can't be fully involved in invoking, you know, the spirit or the deity or the intelligence if you're worried or thinking about, if you're distracted mentally by other things. Yeah, this is a little key, but a very important key. You gotta eliminate all distractions. And that's hermit mode, right? Hermit mode is cloaked. It doesn't mean that you're being antisocial. It doesn't mean that you're not going to the grocery store, going to work, or going to see your friends and having a party or whatever. But even in those crowded rooms, you are still without distraction. You're still able to absolutely focus. Okay? And this is saying that when you do go and set down to work, you are not distracted by, what did my friend say at that party? I don't know. Was he being a jerk? I don't remember. You're not going through the grocery list in your head. When you set down to work, it's about the work. It's like when you sit down to meditate, and it's difficult. It's nearly impossible to fully concentrate on what we're doing with no distractions, but that's what we practice. That's what we're trained for. That's what we're trying to get to that point. And this card illustrates that what's going to sabotage this whole process of creation is if we allow ourselves to be too distracted by other ideas, by other thoughts, by other people, and blah, 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 blah. So we get a good handle on this, and we're able to summon this fire. In any kind of, effort. If you're sitting there putting together a little scale model of a battleship or something, and you're painting these little pieces, you got to focus, you got to be concentrated on that. Now, you could be thinking of other things and doing all that stuff, but maybe that's part of the focus, part of the meditation to keep you concentrated, But we get distracted and it's, oh man, I painted the wrong part of the ship or whatever, Or I broke the little figure's arm or something. You ever see those little models? The people are just like millimeters tall. How do people paint those things? I don't understand it. Anyway, we're going to do an extended reading if you want to stick around. There's a link up top. There's one down below. New readings for Taurus, Mondays and Fridays. Be sure to watch both readings. Very important. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It is totally free. It doesn't cost anything. Leave a comment. Let me know where in the world you're watching from. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you, and I love you, and we're all in this together.